Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Ted.
Welcome to the board meeting of the Teachers Retirement Board for February 26, 2026. We'll call the roll. Joseph Borelli.
Present.
Thomas Brown.
Present. Good afternoon, Ted.
Philip Dukes.
Present.
Gregory Faulkner. Victoria Lee. Christina McGrath.
Good afternoon, Dad. Present.
Amy Slattery.
Present.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you. And I guess we'll do the update on TRS operations.
Yes, and Kavita Canmore. We'll turn it over to Kavita. That works.
Great, thank you.
Good afternoon. Regarding our account statements, earlier this month, TRS posted member account statements for the fourth quarter of 2025. We emailed members with the statements were available for online viewing and notified them that the next quarterly statements available in May will have a new and different look. Member education and outreach, TRS member education team reported that during 2025, they conducted 129 educational programs, both online and on-site, serving over 9,000 members. They also represented TRS at 32 outreach sessions for employers and union groups, and they have several events on the calendar already for the spring semester. Thank you.
Next item is an update from the actuary.
Good afternoon. It's that time of the year again, a new legislative cycle, and been asked to keep the board updated on fiscal notes impacting TRS. So far, there was one fiscal note impacting TRS that was released in time for this agenda. It's in your board material, but it's an increase in benefit for Tier 6 members that have over 20 years of service. At 20 years, the current benefit formula is 35% of final average salary, and the proposed legislation being considered would increase that to 40%. So happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yeah, that puts it
Joe?
in line with Tier 4 for 20 years. But does it allow the person to retire at 20 years as well?
So all it does is increase the benefit formula at 20 years. So for Tier 4, it's 2% times final average salary times credited service.
So as I'm a NYCERS member, so I hit my 20th year.
Yeah, that would be 40%.
And I'm 40%, but I can't collect till 57. Would our members now be able to collect or finish their city service at 40%?
It doesn't change the retirement eligibility.
Oh, okay.
So whatever the retirement eligibility, it's the same. All it did is change benefit formula.
Okay.
So at 20 years, all of a sudden they would get that 40%, which you would get at Tier 4 as well.
Thank you, Mara.
There are no further questions, Mr. Chair. If I move to the Executive Director's report. Sure.
Thank you. Go ahead.
So for the Executive Director's report, we have one item today. It's the next meeting. It has been suggested that the next regular meeting of the Teachers Retirement Board be held on the third Thursday of the month, March 19th, 2026. Please mark your calendars accordingly. So,
Thank you.
next item is calendar and the approval of the minutes. We have 2 minutes seeking approval for. First is the January 8th, 2026 investment meeting minutes. And the second is the January 15th, 2026 board meeting minutes.
Great, thank you. Do I hear a motion to move the January 8th, 2026 investment meeting minutes and the January 15th, 2026 board meeting minutes?
So moved.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Great. For all those in favor of approving those board meeting and investment meetings, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Abstentions? Thank you. The record shows that they are approved. Thank you.
The next item is the adoption of the calendar. You should have all received an electronic version of the calendar.
Okay, and we will ask for a motion to accept the calendar items.
Please waive the readings.
Okay, the waive the reading has been Noted.
Sorry.
And now I'll entertain a motion to accept the calendar items.
So moved.
And it's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor of approving the calendar items for February 2026, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Calendar items have been approved. Thank you.
That, Chair and board members will move to other business. We have today a TRS presentation on the Royal Plan, and that presentation will be given to us by Matt Laskowski, who I think many of you know, who is our Director of our Public Information Office.
Hi, Matt.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Just share my screen here. And we're sharing. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Matt Laskowski, as Thad mentioned. I'm the Communications Director here at TRS. Been here, working here in communications and member education for 30-something years now. And it's my pleasure to have the opportunity to speak with you today about the Roth option that TRS has just introduced under our 403B plan. So I'm going to start off the presentation with a question, actually. Who here remembers 1970? We're on a public record, so you don't have to answer. But
February 19th?
the reason I mention that, yes, is February 1970.
56 years.
56 years ago, and that is the time that TRS actually introduced our 403B program.
Happy birthday, TDA.
Happy birthday to the TDA program. I'm not able to move this, so just stop my sharing for 1 second. Sorry about this. Liz, actually, do you want to take over the slides?
I will. I'll bring it up now.
Okay. Yep, that'll work. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but I will tell you that in 1970, TRS began our tax deferred annuity program, our 403B program, established in February under the New York City Administrative Code and under the Internal Revenue Code. Section 403B of the Internal Revenue Code, in fact. A Section 403B plan is a type of retirement plan that is available to educators, primarily educational employers, but also some tax benefited employers such as churches, charities. It's comparable to a 401k in the private sector. Liz, you can move to the third slide, the blue one, where we're defining our terms about there we go. Comparable to a 401k in the private sector, and it gets its fancy name from the section of the Internal Revenue Code that established it. So that's what a 403B plan is. Probably most of you know that, but I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page before we move on with the program. And you can click a couple more clicks to show the full slide there, Liz. So it was established, our 403B was established as a voluntary defined contribution plan with contributions from employees only. No employer match, no employer contribution of any kind in the 403B plan. And as a traditional tax sheltered plan, the idea is the contributions are made from pre-tax money. So taxes are deferred on the contributions, taxes are deferred on the earnings on the contributions, and then paid by the recipient later when the funds are received as income. That's the idea of a traditional tax sheltered account. So over the intervening decades, thank you for that history lesson, and during that history lesson, but over the intervening decades, we made some enhancements to the 403B plan. We introduced account deferral at retirement to allow members to retain their accounts and not force them to start drawing on those funds immediately at retirement. We introduced a loan program in the mid-90s. We increased the number of investment options that are available to participants. And we also made some changes that were required by the federal government. We introduced required minimum distributions for members when they reached a certain age. Hardship withdrawals, for example. So you can move on, Liz, thanks. So that brings us up to today, where we stand with the 403B. Well, not exactly today, but the end of the last fiscal year, which was last June, we had total investments in the TDA program totaling almost $53 billion. 98,000 active contributors to the plan, and 164,000 account holders overall, all members of TRS, which makes us the largest 403B plan in the country. According to Pensions and Investments, the trade magazine, they do an annual survey, and for the last 2 years, our 403B has been the #1 largest in the country. So congratulations to us, we're #1. Liz, we can move on. Yeah, thank you. The 98,000 members actively contributing certainly is one of the reasons that we're the #1 403B plan in the country. That represents just under 3/4 of our non-retired membership, so 74%. We'd love to see that closer to 100%. Of people taking advantage of this opportunity to put in more, to invest more in their retirement security. 3 out of 4 ain't bad though, but we're hoping to get there. Those 3 out of 4 members are investing an average of roughly $1,000 per month, $12,000 per year. So you can see how the money stacks up. The table at the bottom of the screen kind of shows the age distribution of TDA contributors and how it aligns with our overall membership, actually. So for example, you may be able to see that 1% of our contributors to the TDA program are under the age of 25. As folks get deeper into their career, their engagement in the 403B plan increases. You can see 31% of our contributors are in their 35 to 44 range. Another 31 are in that 45 to 54 range. And that roughly maps with the age distribution of the overall non-retired membership population too. It kind of maps together. So we're humming along with the TDA program. And if this were a sitcom or if this were a comedy movie, this would be the part that you'd hear the needle scratch off the record for dramatic effect, because this is the part where I'm going to talk about, the next slide, the Secure Act 2.0, which is a mouthful in itself, the name of it. Oh, back up. So the Secure Act, is an acronym standing for setting every community up for retirement enhancement. And it's a piece of federal legislation, 2 pieces actually. The Secure Act, the first Secure Act was enacted in 2019, and the second was enacted in 2022. Federal legislation, with the point of which was to make it easier for Americans, easier for individuals to access their retirement funds. And to simplify the rules that applied to retirement plan administrators such as us with our 403B. There was a boatload of changes that applied to TRS and our 403B over the course of the two acts. But the one I want to focus on today is that last bullet on the screen, which says that Secure Act 2.0 required plans to apply Roth treatment to certain catch-up contributions starting in January 2026. Now, there's a lot of jargon in there, so I'm gonna, on the next slide, just make sure again we understand our terms. Roth treatment you're familiar with a Roth investment vehicle. That's the kind of vehicle, the kind of retirement plan where the contributions come from after-tax money. All the earnings are deferred, and when the funds are received later on after retirement or after eligibility, it's tax-free. It's kind of the flip side of the traditional tax-sheltered investment vehicle. So that's Roth treatment. You're probably familiar with that in your own lives. What you might not be familiar with is the term catch-up contributions. That's basically extra contributions that the IRS allows for plan participants who are 50 or older. They're making up for lost time. They're catching up. So that's what catch-up contributions mean. Contributions for age 50 and up, folks. So Liz, if you could move to the next slide. We'll take a deeper dive into what this law really meant to us. Secure Act 2.0 required certain participants in a plan, those who have a high income, over a high income threshold, if they were gonna make their catch-up contributions, they had to make them on an after-tax or Roth basis. Not only that, all other participants, regardless of their income, had to have the option to make catch-up contributions on a Roth basis beginning at age 50. So the bottom line was that the bottom line of this particular provision of the Secure Act 2.0 was by January 2026, TRS needed to be able to administer after-tax 403B contributions for members who were 50 and up. And the clock was ticking. So this is 2023, we learned about this rule. And as we analyzed the rule and figured out how we were going to implement it, what we determined was, the next slide please, Liz, that the best way to do this to meet the requirements was to offer Roth as an option for all of our participants rather than just the 50 plus folks that it applied to under the law. It made for a simpler interaction with our payroll system. It made an easier development work for us as we were in the midst of our modernization effort. And overall, it's a better product offering for our membership, right? To offer a Roth option for everybody who participates in the 403B program, rather than just those who are 50 and above. So we made that choice to introduce a Roth option for all, and we prioritized the work that we needed to do to stand up the Roth program and begin accepting and managing Roth contributions as of January 2026. So as we moved forward towards that, we kept some things in mind, some guidelines. Obviously, a pre-tax account and an after-tax account are separate buckets, need to be kept separately, totally separate from each other. So the Roth is a separate account from the traditional TDA account, but it's all under the same umbrella of the 403B plan. And so when we built the features of the Roth plan, we, to the extent that we could, mimicked or copied the features of the TDA plan. The contribution structure was the same. The investment options that were available to members participating in the Roth were the same options available to those on the TDA side. The beneficiary designation process is the same. The withdrawal process is the same. The rules are a little different for Roth funds versus TDA funds, but the process is the same. So where possible, we tried to leverage what we had already built for the tax deferred annuity program when we built the Roth option. So where did that get us? The next slide will tell us that we were able to launch the Roth option successfully at the end of last year. November 17th was the date that we flipped the switch on the website and opened up Roth enrollment for our members, so that they could begin participating with the very first paycheck in 2026. But prior to that flipping of the switch, we had a publicity campaign throughout the year. We ran newsletter articles in the spring and in the fall. We had a web page, social media, and we concluded the year with an email blast to all eligible participants, all eligible members, to make sure that they were aware of this new flavor available to them under the 403B plan. So how are we doing since November 17th? The next slide will show us. This will show us a snapshot of the first 100 days of the Roth era. We're actually in day 102 right now with the Roth era. So these stats are from 2 days ago, hot off the presses. You can see that we have close to 5,400 members who've opted in to the Roth program. Average contribution rate, a little bit over 9%. Average age of those participants, 44. The vast majority, 96% of the people who enrolled in the Roth plan already have a TDA with us, but there are a few, 225, who do not have a TDA account existing with TRS, and they opted straight for the Roth plan. Just an interesting factoid there. On the flip side, you can see on the right side of the screen, you can see the number of new TDA enrollments for the same period, about almost 2,300 members. Obviously, a lot less than the Roth for the same period. But remember, 98,000 people already are in the TDA. They don't need to re-enroll. They're already enrolled. So all in all, in the last 100 days, what we're looking at is that 7,600 people, 7,600 members have made the choice to augment their pension by participating in our 403B plan, whether it's the pre-tax side on the traditional TDA or whether it's the Roth and the after-tax contribution, or it could be both. And it could be both. For many folks, it is both. So at the end of the day, that's a positive sign. 7,600 members taking it on themselves to add to their retirement security. Whoops. What's next for our Roth plan? We're going to be expanding our educational programs. One of my responsibilities here is overseeing the member education aspect, the online classes that we offer and the on-site classes that we offer downstairs in the member education center. We have a very popular program about the TDA program. We have a very popular class about the TDA program. We're going to be expanding that into multiple classes, helping members understand the difference between the Roth and the regular TDA. Again, re-emphasizing the importance of investing on your own for retirement security. Nobody's an investment advisor here. There's no investment advice going on, but we're giving members the information to make informed decisions. And that's the goal there on the educational programs. That's a soapbox I could be on forever. Another thing that we're going to be doing is formalizing the reporting, the statistical reporting like on the last slide for Roth and TDA participation. Longer term, we're going to be looking at the feasibility of online tools for members to use to play around and help navigate them through this world. We're also going to be focusing on outreach to our younger membership to try and get them engaged in the 403B in whatever flavor a little bit earlier in their process. As you saw through one of the earlier slides, 1% of our TDA participants are in that tender young age of 25 or less. And so we've got opportunity to grow there. And the conventional wisdom is that a Roth option speaks more to the younger folks. So we'll reach out to them, make sure that they're aware of this option, hopefully convince them of the wisdom of participating in the plan. But overall, our educational goals are unchanged. We want to we want to encourage members to see the value in participating in the 403B plan, whatever flavor it is, the pre-tax traditional one, the Roth plan, or both, to assist them with their retirements, building their retirement security. And that's the conclusion of my presentation. I'm happy to take any questions.
Matt, thank you. And kudos to you and to your entire team for rolling this program out.
It's a team effort. Thank you. I'll accept that on behalf of the agency.
Thank you. Thank you. And just to hear that 7,600 of our members have opted to get into a supplemental form of a retirement plan. It's just wonderful. We've always had that problem with the youngins, it's been historical, hasn't it? The percentage of young people below
It has something to do with starting salaries.
age 25. Yeah. I don't think it's starting salaries. I think that it's probably
Not on my radar yet.
they're not on it.
I'm never getting old.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have any problem buying a cappuccino for $7.32. But yeah, but great, kudos.
Thank you.
I'm surprised you said the average age of the Roth enrollment was 44. I thought it would have been younger for some reason. Were you surprised at that age as well?
Yeah, at that one, that was a little bit surprising. For that same 100-day period, the average age of the Roth enrollees was actually higher than the average age of the traditional TDA, which was a little bit surprising. But it's a small data set, and we'll see if that bears out over time. That's another piece of data that we're going to be tracking and looking at.
It's important for our members to choose, in additional to their defined benefit automatic pension, to choose either the TDA or the Roth or both, whatever suits them.
Exactly.
And this is only for 100 days, all these things. So we look forward to the next 100 days.
That's right.
Thanks, Matt.
Okay,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
That's great. So Matt, I think that brings us to the conclusion of our public session, and we don't have an executive session today. So any questions before we ask for a motion to adjourn? Thank you. And again, I'd just like to thank Sophia. Welcome back. And thank you for being the recorder, and Argenis. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For being here with us. And with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
It's been moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Great. All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye. Those opposed say nay. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.